There are wounds that leave no visible scars, yet cut deep into the soul, lingering and insidious. These are the endings of relationships that aren't marked by clear mistakes, heated arguments, or blatant betrayals. Everything seems calm until a harsh truth emerges. The other person has found someone new, someone more interesting, more compatible, or simply more novel. And you are replaced, quietly, swiftly, sometimes feeling as if you never truly existed in their life. I don't know what I did wrong, but he has someone else, and I'm left behind. This sentiment was echoed in the minds of countless women facing the pain of being replaced. It's a raw, agonizing reality, often left unaddressed, with no guide on how to navigate through it. The feeling of being replaced. No one teaches women how to cope. The feeling of being replaced isn't just the sadness of a relationship ending. It's more complex, deeper, touching the most sensitive aspects of a woman's self. 1. Shock and confusion. When an ex publicly moves on, the initial reaction is often profound shock and confusion. A barrage of unanswered questions floods your mind. Am I not good enough? What did I do wrong? You question yourself, desperately seeking a rational explanation for what feels utterly irrational. Fear and uncertainty blanket you, leaving you feeling adrift and lost in your own life. 2. Comparison and self-belittlement. After the initial shock, human instinct often leads to comparing yourself to the new person. Are they prettier, smarter, more exciting? You begin to scrutinize your own flaws, believing they are the reasons you were replaced. This process inadvertently diminishes your self-worth, making you feel like a flawed, imperfect version in the eyes of the other person. This feeling erodes self-esteem and confidence, pulling you into a spiral of negativity. 3. Loss of trust. Being abruptly replaced can shatter your deep-seated trust in love and commitment. You begin to question the nature of relationships, promises, and loyalty. Will anyone truly want to commit to me long-term? Can everyone just easily walk away? These thoughts make you guarded, withdrawn, and hesitant to open up to new relationships. You fear experiencing similar pain again, and this fear unconsciously creates a significant barrier in your life. 4. Loss of self-identity. At one point, you invested so much into that relationship, striving to be the best version of yourself. Yet, it all seems meaningless when you're discarded. A loss of self-identity emerges. You no longer know who you are, where your worth lies, when your efforts weren't reciprocated. You feel unremarkable, undeserving of love and commitment. This pain lingers, gnawing at you, leaving you lost within yourself. Why the pain of being replaced runs so deep. The pain of being replaced is more than just a breakup. It touches upon fundamental human needs and carries elements that make it deeper and harder to heal than almost any other heartache. Unknown. It strikes at a basic need. I want to be chosen and kept. As humans, everyone yearns to be loved, accepted, and to be uniquely cherished in someone's heart. The need to be chosen and kept is a profound primal instinct within us. When replaced, we feel like a mere option, a fallback, rather than a top priority. This deeply wounds our self-esteem and sense of self-worth. It evokes fears of loneliness, of not being good enough to hold on to the one we love. 2. There's no clear goodbye, just someone else. One of the most painful aspects of being replaced is the absence of a clear ending. No final conversation, no heartfelt goodbye, no explanation that helps you understand what truly happened. There are no loud arguments, no dramatic scenes, just a quiet drifting. And then suddenly, someone else, the person you once meant the world to, now seems to have simply moved on, as if you were a chapter that quietly closed, without ever being read to the end. This kind of ending, or lack thereof, leaves you suspended in uncertainty. You don't get to ask the questions that haunt you. You don't get the closure your heart is begging for. You're left standing in front of a door that's slightly ajar but never fully shut, unable to walk away, unable to walk back in. This emotional limbo becomes a breeding ground for confusion, self-blame, and disorientation. You start to replay every moment, every word, every silence, looking for clues, wondering if you missed something, if you weren't enough, if somehow, without realizing it, you became replaceable. It's not just the loss of a person, it's the loss of clarity, the inability to heal because the wound is invisible but constantly bleeding. You can't grieve something that never fully ended. And that's what makes it hurt even more. The fact that you're mourning a goodbye that was never said. 3. The other person moves on happily while you're stuck. While you're still grappling with the aftermath of being left behind, sitting with the confusion, the disbelief, the invisible grief, the other person seems to have effortlessly moved on. They're smiling in new photos, holding someone else's hand, starting a new chapter with ease and openness. They appear vibrant, joyful, maybe even more alive than before. And you're still quietly bleeding from a wound no one else can see. Watching someone you once shared your heart with so openly embrace a new relationship while you're still trying to make sense of how it all unraveled is a unique kind of heartbreak. It's not just sadness, it's a cocktail of emotions, injustice, loneliness, humiliation, and a deep sense of abandonment. You wonder how they could move on so easily, so quickly. Were you that forgettable, that replaceable? Were you really ever loved? This one-sided experience of suffering creates an emotional dissonance, like the world is moving forward without you. Their life continues, seemingly untouched by the collapse that shattered yours, and you begin to feel like the only one stuck, as if the pain lives exclusively inside your chest while everything around you remains indifferent. That contrast is crushing. It makes your suffering feel not only intense, but also isolated, as though you're grieving in a world that refuses to pause for your pain. And so the healing process slows. Not because you don't want to heal, but because it's hard to let go of a story that never felt properly closed. It's hard to move forward when every glimpse of their joy feels like a reminder of your invisibility. Every post, every smile, every trace of their new life becomes a trigger, reinforcing the painful narrative that maybe you were never enough. You spiral quietly between blame and longing, between remembering and wishing you could forget. But beneath all that noise is a quieter truth. The fact that someone moved on without you doesn't mean you were easy to forget, only that they chose to forget. And that choice says more about them than it ever could about you. The hard truth that sets you free, someone else. Replacing you says nothing about your worth. In moments of deep hurt, we often tend to blame ourselves, believing we weren't good enough. However, here's a hard truth that is incredibly liberating. Someone else choosing to leave and find a new person in no way defines your worth. 1. Their choice to be with someone else doesn't mean you're lacking. Take a deep breath and accept this. Their choice to be with someone else doesn't mean you're lacking. Sometimes people simply want something new, different, and this has absolutely nothing to do with your value or who you are. Humans have a tendency to seek emotional novelty, a sense of excitement and curiosity from exploring the unknown. This is an aspect of human nature, and it reflects on them, not on you. You are not less capable, less able to hold on to someone, or somehow flawed simply because someone else decided to take a different path. Their departure was their choice, and that choice does not diminish your specialness. 2. Your worth doesn't lie in the validation of the person who left you. Don't become invisible, or lose your worth just because someone no longer sees you the way they once did. Your worth doesn't lie in the validation of the person who left. They may have been an important part of your life, but they do not define you. You are an independent individual, possessing inherent value, unique strengths, talents, and beauty. No one has the right to devalue you unless you give them that power. Reclaim your right to determine your own worth. Do not allow anyone to define you through the lens of their departure. The healing journey after being replaced. Healing after being replaced is a long journey that requires patience and courage. It's not a straight path, and there may be times when you feel like giving up. However, by taking the following steps, you can gradually find peace and self-confidence. 1. Stop searching for reasons why they left me. The first and most crucial step in the healing process is to stop searching for reasons why they left me. You might have asked yourself hundreds of times, analyzing every moment, every word, but the truth is, there might not be a rational reason at all. Or if there is, it's not something you need to dwell on. Trying to find an explanation will only trap you in a vicious cycle of self-blame and torment. Accept that sometimes things simply end and it's not your fault. When you stop blaming yourself, you will free yourself from an unnecessary burden and create space for recovery. 2. Rebuild your self-trust. After such a wound, self-trust is often shaken. It's time to rebuild your trust in yourself. An effective way to do this is to write a letter to your past self. Write about what you've been through, your feelings, and most importantly, affirm your self-worth. I loved truly. I tried my best to nurture this relationship, and that is enough. I deserve to be loved, cherished, and kept. At the same time, re-establish emotional boundaries for yourself. This means clearly defining what you will and will not accept in relationships. No one has the right to enter and exit your life casually, hurt you, and then disappear. Learning to love and protect yourself is the foundation for building healthier relationships in the future. 3. Be grateful for the wounded version of yourself. It may sound counterintuitive, but being grateful for the wounded version of yourself is an important step in the healing process. This very pain has taught you invaluable lessons about love, about yourself, and about how to love yourself more in the future. Every scar is a story, a reminder of your inner strength and resilience. View this pain as an opportunity for growth. The new person may come and go. They are just a chapter in your life. But you remain you, a lovable, whole, and constantly evolving individual. You don't need to seek validation from anyone to feel worthy. Conclusion: you weren't replaced. You just don't belong there. Anymore, remember, you weren't replaced. You simply no longer belong there. Everyone who leaves your life teaches you a valuable lesson about yourself, about love, and about what you truly deserve. Some relationships end not because you aren't worthy, but because you've outgrown the place you once belonged. You have grown, you have learned, and now you need a larger space, a more suitable place for the person you are today. You didn't lose because the new person is better than you. You simply won in silence because you are not the one who needs to replace anyone. Be proud of yourself, of your resilience, and of what you've learned. The road ahead may still have challenges, but you are much stronger now. Trust your journey and open your heart to the wonderful things waiting for you. You deserve a complete love without comparison, without fear of being replaced.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.